bring in retired four-star Air Force General Phillip Breedlove, who served as NATO Supreme Allied Commander for Europe from 2013 to 2016. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm well. I'm very grateful to be in a place where I can wake up in the morning and know that I'm safe heading into work. That's not the case for so many people who live and work in Israel. But I do have to ask you first, in regards to the U.S. supporting Israel, we're expected to hear from President Biden finally today as he addresses the nation. The USS Gerald Ford Strike Group has been said to be moved into position near Israel. What exactly does that do for Israelis' forces?
Well, it is a clear signal of support. It is a powerful tool, but only if it is brought to bear. So it will be important for us to hear and listen to what the president has to say today. Unfortunately, yesterday, there were some intonations that were already telling the enemy what we will not do, much like we did in Ukraine. We've said we're not going to put troops on the ground, et cetera, et cetera. And it would be good today to hear the president talk about what we are going to do.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more, and I'm sure there are a lot of people listening right now who say the same. It would be nice to know our position on this, especially in light of so much money, so many resources given to Ukraine. There are stockpiles of weapons, we are told, that can be approved by the president for Israeli defense use. Do you predict that that will happen?
Well, I believe it will in the future if Israel needs it. Israel is an extremely capable military force, and it's different than in Ukraine, where they needed so much as far as capabilities. Israel is an extremely capable military nation, and they will use their capability here very soon, I think you're going to see. But as in all fights, stocks begin to go down. And so we'll have to see what they need from us. And the president can, in fact, make it available.
In terms of the history, I mean, because of your service, you might have a different take on all of this. We've seen a lot of battles in the Middle East. We've seen the conflict between Hamas, between Palestinians and Jews for quite some time. But in this instance, what is being compared to 9/11, what's being compared to Pearl Harbor, so many casualties, hundreds of people murdered on their home soil. Would we respond any differently because of the significance, because of the number of casualties, and the fact that we have American citizens quite possibly in Hamas hands?
Well, that's the big point at this juncture. Americans have been killed, and Americans are held hostage now. And it's important now for our president to stand up and say what America is going to do about that. And we need to be focused on where this is all coming from. It's really all about Iran. And Iran is pushing Hamas, and I believe before it's all over, Iran will push Hezbollah in the north as well. This is about Iran keeping their terror organisms, their terror arms active around Israel. And it's about thwarting Israel's attempt to now find a new agreement with Saudi Arabia.
I remember, I want to say it was a decade ago, when we saw Americans in the Middle East being beheaded by ISIS. ISIS was at the time the most well-known terror name. We've heard of Hamas and Hezbollah, but ISIS was the top dog of the terror organizations. Is this as much about ego as well? Is this about making a name for themselves, alerting the world that they're a force to be reckoned with?
I think ego may be a leap too far. I think Iran wants to be seen as a power in the Middle East. I think that they recognize that the West and, frankly, America has been less forward. They've watched what's gone on in Ukraine. They watched what went on in our exit from Afghanistan. And I think they see this is the time to exert themselves.
Because they do not see a nation that is willing to step into the fight, willing to get in and get their hands dirty.
I think that's important today to hear what our president is going to say. I'll just make the point one more time. Americans have been killed. Americans are being held hostage. Now, what is America going to do about that?
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.